Rezolve AI was down 2% last week. It's down 33% in the last month, but up 52% in the last 12 weeks. So overall, Rezolve AI is trending up, but it's had a bearish last 4 to 6 weeks, which, based on the chart, might be presenting an entry opportunity and a trade to make a potential 80% profit. So this stock is worth your attention right now. It might be reversing and starting the next leg up. So in this video, I'm going to conduct a price analysis for Rezolve AI, offer my thoughts and opinions on whether you should buy this stock. Let's take a look. I'd like to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/DavidB for the 5 best stocks to buy now. Use my special link to get $200 off their epic annual subscription. Now, if you find value in my analysis of Rezolve AI stock today or other stocks on my channel, you may also find value in my email newsletter. If you subscribe, I'll share with you professional trading tips to help you make more profits trading stocks. Link down below, check it out. On the weekly chart for Rezolve AI, we can see it made its all-time high, about $15 back in August 2024. Since that time, it has been bearish. Rezolve AI stock was sold off. It did fall all the way down into support of about $1.50 before it had about 6 weeks back up to create this new peak here of around $5.45, only for the sellers to take back control and sell the stock off once again into this significant price trough of around $1, a key level for any stock. Now, since April 2025, when that $1 trough has been formed, Rezolve AI has been looking bullish. It has reversed and now is trending up. You can see here on the weekly chart, it did break the downtrend line in around about the first 2 weeks of May. You can see price action just coming above the trend line here, only for sellers to come back in, and there was a bit of consolidation around about $1.90 support. So from that time, it did just track sideways, but there was a big bullish week in the last few weeks of June where this stock really pushed up. It opened at $2 and moved up to create a high of $3.30, closed high at $2.75. So since that week, it has been pushing up quite aggressively. It made this peak of $8.43 about 6 weeks ago. So it's made that significant peak 6 weeks ago, but this level seems to be a strong level for the stock. Sellers came back in and they did sell this stock off, and it did fall into support of $4 last week. Now, you can see, depending on where you put the trend line, price action last week, if I zoom in, price action did break the trend line last week, which is bearish, suggesting, is price going to fall further? But it is clear that although it did break temporarily, it actually closed above the trend line, depending on where you put it, last week, showing there is support for Rezolve AI around about $4. So overall, looking at the bigger picture since April, so we got April, May, June, July, August, September, we've got 6 months where overall Rezolve AI is trending up. It is looking bullish. There is a pullback, obviously, the last 6 weeks. It does look as if now it's finding support here, and this might be a turning point for the next leg up. So it's worth your attention right now to potentially pick up this stock on the reversal and trade it back up to $8.50 for a strong profit. Over on the daily chart, we can see price action for Rezolve AI, respecting this trend line time and time again as it moved up to create higher highs and higher lows, forming higher bases as it moves up. So we've got this base here of 188, then we've got 238, then we've got another base here of 284, and most recently It did fall back into 473. There was a counter trend, didn't quite make this level here before sellers came back in. So right now it does look as if it found support there at $4. It looks as if this level could be the reverse. And if I zoom in, we can see price did go under the trend line on the daily chart. It was on the Wednesday. There was a reversal bar here on the Wednesday, and then buyers came back in on Thursday and Friday last week. So overall last week, it did close above the trend line, suggesting there is support here and price may be about to start move up back into this zone here on the next leg. Using my trend arrow tool, we can see how this stock has moved since the low of $1 back in April. It did surge up to break the trend line. Effectively, it then moved in between these two levels here. It broke out and then it came back to form a higher base here. Moved up once again, a higher base around these levels here, respecting the trend line. Big bullish few weeks up to 850. Was some selling pressure, some traders taking profits around this level, and it did find support at 471. Bit of buying action over the next 3 days, only for it to be sold off back into this level, which we found last week, around about $4. So right now, it looks as if it is possible the next few trading sessions that Rezolve AI is going to start to move back up into this zone above the trend line and potentially over the next few weeks challenge this level of 850 once again. So over on the weekly chart for Rezolve AI, we can talk about some of these key price levels. Obviously, you've got $1 down here where the trend reversed. There is some short-term support here, 180, higher base. And again, there is resistance here, 842. Looking what happened here. So there was selling pressure at this level and it fell away. There was support here in this week around about 473, corresponding to these two bars back here. It did fall through, and last week it looks as if $4 is a support level for this stock. It did close about halfway up. So there is a risk next week it could fall further. So watch this stock in the next few weeks to see if we get an overall green bar and it moves up above this confirmed trend line. Now what you can do is think about trading it between these levels here and this level up here. We know there's resistance there, and we know based on last week there is some short-term support there. So overall, there is a higher probability that price is going to start to move back up towards this level. But we want to see a green bullish bar next week to show the buyers are in control and they're coming in at these price levels here and want to take the price higher. So an option to trade Rezolve AI on the weekly chart. If price reverses next week and we see price action break above and close above this peak of 514 actually, if it closes above 514 next week, you could enter on confirmation and then trade this stock back up to this target level of 845. So 63% on offer if the trend reverses, and you could put your stop about 20% based on that low there. Effectively, if price breaks that low there, it's going down. So you want to get out. But if there's a green bar next week and it takes out this peak here, that would indicate the buyers are coming back in and they want to buy up this stock. And what we'll see is the trend start effectively. If I just use my trend arrow tool here, it's moved up here, it's finding support. If the buyers are committed, we're going to see a few green bars. It's going to move back up above this peak here in the next few weeks. And that'll trigger an entry rule and buy on confirmation. And then in theory, it's going to move up towards this level of resistance. It might break through. You can take profit there. You might hold it towards $12 if it's looking strong, if it's looking bullish. But of course, stocks don't go straight up. It might find resistance here it might come back towards this level here, maybe $6 before having another go. But effectively, you can see overall, the way that the trend is moving, it is creating these higher highs and higher lows. So overall, it is moving up. So this could be an entry opportunity for Rezolve AI. And there's a decent profit, about 60% on offer, if this price reverses next week. And then it starts to move back up towards this level here of 850. So watch this stock carefully. It is trending up, and there's a lot of interest from buyers around not only Rezolve AI, but the whole AI sector on the whole. Let me know what you think. Are you trading Rezolve AI right now? Are you in the trade right now? Or are you thinking of buying it above either this counter trend right here, or perhaps longer term, you're waiting for that price to break this previous peak and then hold it maybe for 6 to 12 months. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.